So yesterday we discussed about some probability distributions, and so we actually started with this random walk in one dimension. So the question is, so what was the question? So there is a one dimensional lattice, and the probability to go right from the one side is alpha and probability to go to left is beta. Then question is, what is the probability to reach the site j after n steps, right? Then we found that if mod j is greater than n, obviously the probability will be equal to 0, and the sample space will be basically means it can reach these sites, okay, if you have n number of trials if you are doing, okay. So so now the question is how to calculate Pjn. So anybody is having any idea about how do you calculate this Pjn for a particular site after time means j? What is the probability to reach that particular site after n trials?
So what is the binomial distribution be helpful?
Binomial distribution, we don't know, so we have to prove this, no? So we cannot take that because we don't know the situation now, okay. So first of all, so one important thing we can see here is, so each steps, see, suppose we are at this site, 1 second. Suppose we are at this side, so whether we move to right or left only depends on because this movement to left or right depends on where you are in the last step, okay. So the previous, so there is no memory, okay. So because you moved from here to here does not affect, okay, the movement from here to here or here to here. So the memory is not there, is kind of a process called Markov process, okay. So anyway, whoever is interested can look at that. So this basically the movement at this step only depends on suppose the movement towards this step depends on what is the previous step, okay, not anything before that. So that is very important. So if I want to be in site j at nth time, okay, or n trials, where should I be at n minus 1 trial? So either at j minus 1 or j plus 1, right? So the probability to reach at jn will be equal to, so what is the probability at j minus 1 when after n minus 1 trial plus the probability okay. So probability to reach the site j after not n plus 1, n minus 1. Is this clear?
Sir, should it be alpha into p j minus 1 and beta into p j plus 1?
Okay, sure. So because the probability basically j minus 1, if you are at j minus 1, it is moving right is alpha. So alpha into pj minus 1, and other one is beta into j minus. Yes, thank you. So this is actually called a difference equation, okay. This is a difference equation because this n is basically an integer, right, or n trials. So So it's not a differential equation, it is a difference equation. So you can actually, if there is a method to solve this, you can find out. So numerically you can actually, will be possible to do this. So before the, but to have some idea regarding this particular thing, because you know that in the previous step you should be at either at its site j minus 1 or j plus 1. So suppose you are at the right side of, so this is 0 and this is your jth side, okay. So at least how many steps, okay, it has to take to reach j? Minimum.
J.
It should be j. Okay, minimum j steps it should move right, right? J steps it should move right to reach j. But there is also possibility because total number of steps is n. If n is equal to j, no problem, but n can be larger than j. So remaining thing, what can be done?
Sir, for half of the remaining turns, it will move towards one side and the other half it will move back.
Okay. So in that case, how many times it moves right?
N minus j by 2. Not at once, sir, but I mean at random. N minus j.
That is, see now I am only asking a question. Now you are at the right side. Okay.
Yes.
How many steps you should take the right to reach j? Okay. How many steps it should take right to reach j? So minimum j is clear. At least j you should take, and the total is n. So n minus j by 2. So that is means plus n minus. Is it correct?
Yes, sir.
Right? So what is that equal to? N plus j by 2, right? So what is this number? This will move this many steps. See, is this a even number or odd number? N plus j?
Even number.
It will be a even number. What about n minus j? Is that will be even number?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So n plus j by 2 times it has to move right to reach j. How many steps it has to move left to reach j?
N minus j by 2.
N minus j by 2. So this many things move right, okay, and n minus j by 2 times it actually moves left. Okay, then you can reach after n trials, you can reach the site j. Okay, so now what? Now you can understand the because to move right, what is the probability? Alpha, right? And move left to beta. So what will be the total probability now to reach site j? Yeah. Yes.
Can you explain this j plus n minus j plus step?
Okay. Okay, I'll do that once more. See, you are making, okay, for example, let us take n is equal to 10. Okay, take n is equal to 10. And you are now looking at, okay, for example, you are looking at the site j equal to 10. Suppose you are looking at the site j equal to 10. Okay. So, how many steps it should move right to reach the source? This is okay, dot dot, this is the 10th site. Okay. You are only making n steps. So, how many steps it should move right to reach 10? 10 steps. Right? it should, so it should not move left. If it moves left, it will never reach 10, right? So that is the thing. Now you think about j is equal to 5. If j is equal to 5.
5 steps it will reach J.
So this is, suppose this is 5. Okay. So how many steps at least it should move right? 5. Okay. Then how many steps remaining?
5 more steps.
5 more steps. 5 more steps, how we can reach that point? Can I reach that site to 5 with you cannot do it. So that is not possible. So what should be the condition there? What should be the condition there? Yeah, what should be the condition?
So the N minus J should be even.
N minus j should be even. That is important. Okay, that is our sample space is that. Okay, so n minus j should be even. Otherwise, you will not reach. The probability to reach that site is actually 0. Okay, so say it is 4. Okay, so j is 4. So that means j, that is j times it should move at least to reach 4 plus remaining you have 10 minus 4, that is 6 steps. That 6 steps, what you have to do? You have to move both sides, right? So half the movement to the right hand, half the move to the left side. So this divided by 2 should move right. So that is 3 movements, that means 4 plus 3. 7 times you have to move right and 3 times you have to move left, then you reach which side? J is equal to 4. Is it clear?
7 times the
Yeah?
7 times the you to reach right steps and 3 times left.
Yeah, 3 times right, then 3 times left. See, so to reach 4 at least, see, you should do actually 4 steps right, obviously to reach 4. The remaining steps, that is n minus j, okay, that is 6. You have to do basically both forward and backward. Okay, that is 10 minus 4 divided by the 6 by 2. So 3 times you have to move right and 3 times you have to move left. See, so that moving right and left, where will you do? That is a different question. Okay, which sequence and all that we have to discuss now. Okay, but to reach the site 4, you have to do 4 plus 3. 7 times you have to move right, then only you can reach the site 4. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Then 3 times it has to move left. Okay, then only you reach the site 4. So for any general thing, n minus j should be even, that we know. So any general thing, the formula is j plus n minus j by 2, you move right, and the remaining thing n minus j by 2, you move left. So now the question is, what is the probability to reach site j after n? Because you know the probability to move right is alpha and the probability to move left is beta. So what will you write?
NC n plus j by 2.
NC
N plus j by 2. Alpha to the power n plus j by 2. Beta to the power n minus j by 2.
Okay. So is this binomial distribution? Is it binomial distribution? Yeah? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So how do you see that? You actually, so see, you substitute for n plus j by 2 equal to k. Okay. So what will be, so see j, so you know what j is running from which minus n to plus n, right? J is running from minus n to plus n. So now if you substitute n plus j equal to k, n plus j by 2 equal to k, so what you get k equal to? K runs from where to where? You substitute k is equal to n plus j by 2. So k will run from where to where?
So 0 to n.
0 to n. So then this will become k, this will become alpha power k. What will this will become?
So beta power n minus k.
Beta power n minus k. So that is binomial distribution. Okay. So now you can find out its mean, average, all those things. I am leaving that to you. Okay. You do it yourself. But this problem is clear. Okay. So any question on this?
No, sir.
So it is a simple random walk in one dimension, okay, lattice. You can actually extend this to 2 dimension, 3 dimension. So we can think about diffusion and all, okay. So diffusion and all actually basically like a random walk, okay. So anyway, I will not get into those things now. Let me do another simple problem. So what is the Poisson distribution for n variable? We have done earlier. P of n with a mean mu. If the random variable n is having a Poisson distribution, what will be P of n is equal to?
The mu raised to n e power minus mu divided by n factor.
Suppose there are 2 events, okay. So what is the sample space of n? What is the sample space of n? 0 to infinity. So there is another event which will give you P of m, that is also Poisson distribution with the mean mu, nu power m e power minus nu divided by m factorial. So there are 2 events, independent events, okay. Each of them are Poisson distribution. So the question is, what is the probability to have the random variable s which is equal to n plus m? What is the probability for the random variable p? What is p of s? Where s is equal to n plus m. They are independent events. Okay.
Pn into Pr.
Pn into Pm. So you are saying P of s is equal to P of n into P of m.
So divided by n plus m factorial into n factorial into m factorial.
Why so? Why so?
So because n plus m factorial won't be compensated with n factorial into m factorial in the multiplication.
So why you are saying P of s is equal to P of n into P of m divided by
n plus m factorial multiplied by same numerator n factorial into n factorial.
numerator.
Yes.
I don't know how this has come. First of all, this is a variable s, so s I don't see anywhere. Okay.
So
Because,
S is n plus n.
yeah, but still, finally, you can remove one. You can't remove both, no? You can't remove both. N you can substitute as s minus m, or m as s minus n. But still another variable is sitting there. So I see then s is another event now, s is another variable now, random variable. So both of them are wrong actually. Okay. You have to multiply probability, that is correct. Okay. But there are other conditions you have to put. What are the other conditions? S should be equal to, right? So what is the sample space of S? What is this? Yeah?
Infinity.
0 to infinity. But S should be n plus m only. Okay. So all Pn into Pm won't multiply with the condition S which is equal to. So how will you put that condition? Delta S n plus m. Right? Is it clear? At least
Sir,
S.
won't be,
Yeah?
sir, won't there be a summation?
Yeah, I am coming to that. First of all, yeah, so obviously there is a summation also, because for a given n and m, if suppose n is equal to 2, suppose you are looking at the situation s is equal to 6. Okay, what is the probability to have a s which is equal to 6? So that you can get it either 1, 5. Okay, you can see 0 because this is n, this is n, this is m. So S 6 you can get it as n is 0, 6, 1, 5, 2, 3, okay, 2, 4 up to 6, 0. No other things is possible. So this condition is basically this one. Okay. Then you have to sum all the possibilities. Right? So you have to sum all n and all m. Okay. So in the S is equal to 6 itself, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. How many are there? 7 possibilities are there. So all those 7, basically, if you do this, it will get summed. Okay. So is it clear to all of you?
Sir, can you explain again?
Okay. So the question is, you have two independent events. Each of them are Poisson distribution. You are not even substituted what, so any distribution no problem. Okay. So right now you are looking at a Poisson distribution. So consider another variable s, which is a random variable, which is a sum of these two random variables. So what is the probability to have? Probability for that random variable s. So that is the question. So obviously the probabilities will multiply, so that is Pn into Pm should be there. Now just for an example, you take s is equal to 6. So what is the probability to have s which is equal to 6 for the random variable 6? So 6 you can obtain different ways of n and m. So this 7 ways are there, right? N can be 0, m is equal to 6. So you can get 0, 6, 1, 5, 2, 5, all these things addition is 6. So that is P of 6. So I want to find out P of 6, right? So how many ways you can get 6 is this many ways only. If you don't put this delta condition, what will happen? Because this summation will take care about all these 6 ways, okay, or any number of ways. But this delta condition will take care about only 6 ways. Because you can also think about 0, 7, right? Because if you don't put this, n is equal to 0 to infinity, m is equal to 0 to infinity. So n should run from where to where only? N should run from n should run from 0 to 0 to s. M should run from 0 to s. If n or m more than s, obviously that you will not get that with the probability contribution you will not get from those n and m. Okay. So is that clear? So this will take care about the sum is that s, okay, because any other sum, even see you see 0, 2 is there. See, I can take n is equal to 0, m is equal to 2 here. Suppose I want to find out 6, right? M is equal to 2 in this sequence I get this product. But I am now trying to find out P of 6. But that 2 is not, n is equal to 0, m is equal to 2. If you put 0 plus 2, you get s 2 only. But I want P of 6. So this delta will take care about that part. Okay. This 6 should be equal to n plus m should be equal to 6. Okay. So that is this one. This will take care about all the possibilities.
Sir,
Yeah.
so even if n and m are greater than s, even then the delta will take care of it.
It will take care, but it is obviously delta will take care because s can't be n plus m can't be more than definitely. But because now if you want to simplify things, it is better to give the limit there itself. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So now you substitute this P of n and P of m here. Give me the answer. What is this equal to? I'll give you 2 minutes. Okay, so what is the answer you are getting?
So e to the power minus s mu plus b to the power s upon s factorial. S factorial.
Everybody is getting this or any problem?
Sir, I am getting mu to the power s into e to the power minus mu plus mu by s factorial into 1 plus mu by mu whole to the power s.
This is e power minus s. Okay, you tell me what you are getting.
Sir, e to the power minus mu plus mu
Then?
by s factorial into mu plus mu whole to the power s.
This looks reasonable.
Yes, that's what I mistakenly took it.
Okay, so I can remove this, right?
Yes, sir.
All of you are getting this or any problem? So what you do is, see, Pn you substitute, Pm you substitute here. That is the first step. So if you substitute that, both summations are there, then mu power n, nu power m, e power minus mu plus nu is anyway you can take it outside. That does not depend on n or m or s. Okay. Then delta s n plus m divided by n factorial m factorial. Now you remove one summation. How will you remove one summation? Instead of n you substitute s. Anyway n is less than s. Or instead of n or m you substitute s. So one summation, say I removed the summation m, so this will become s minus n, this will become s minus n factorial. Okay. Is it fine? Is it all right?
Yes.
Yeah? Fine, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, if you look at binomial expansion, okay, of mu plus nu power s or some n. What is the binomial expansion of mu plus nu power n? It will be some n factorial divided by n minus m factorial what will you get? Mu power n nu power n minus m summation, right? Summation over what? M. M is equal to, yes?
Plus n will remain, sir, del s.
Yeah?
Del s. Sir, in the above expression, this after removing the summation m, this del s, n plus m will.
This won't be there. This won't be there. This won't be there. You already removed one summation. Yeah. Yeah. Now you see you have all these things. See n minus m factorial, instead of that s minus n factorial. So instead of s you are having n here. Okay. And instead of n m. Okay. So then m factorial, the only thing missing is the numerator, one n factorial is missing, right? Numerator, one n factorial is missing. So what you should do is you multiply s factorial and divide with s factorial. Okay. So multiply and divided by s factorial. So this will be, this quantity will be, if you multiply s factorial here and divided with s factorial, this 1 by s factorial you can take it outside because summation is on n only. So this is the expansion of nu power, nu plus nu power s. Okay. Is it clear to everybody? Yeah. So you have e power minus mu plus nu power s divided by x factorial. So now if you substitute mu plus nu is equal to say gamma, okay, or eta, which is equal to mu plus nu, okay. So this you can get it as e power minus eta power s divided by x factorial. So what is this? This is again a Poisson distribution with the mean equal to eta. Basically mean equal to, so this is basically a Poisson distribution with the mean is equal to mu plus nu. So sum of two distributions which are basically the Poisson distributions will again give you a Poisson distribution. Okay. Any question on this? So the continuous probability distribution I will start teaching in the next class onwards. So Tuesday we will have examination, basically all the probability distributions, okay, and means the discrete probability distribution, whatever I taught you. Anything we did not cover during the quiz 2 portions earlier?